Hey Gemini, this is a reading for you for the full moon in Virgo. Gemini, at this time, I feel like there's very much a space here where you're finding so much like joy, peace. Like I feel like this is your season. I feel like you've been working through so many things. I feel like you're dusting yourself off. I feel like you're really getting prepared for like the months that are coming. Like you know that like the past couple months it's been kind of dark, it's been kind of dreary, a little cold, a little frustrating here as well, right? A lot of hardships that you've been working through. But I feel like moving forward, like Gemini, I feel like you have so much protection, so much spiritual protection at this time. I feel like you could definitely have a loved one on the other side here that's been really paying attention to you, really watching you close here as well, right? And then we have the shadow, and then we have shadow, right? I feel like there's been somebody that's been around you at this time that has been so protective. I feel like they have known your lifestyle. They know like how connected you are spiritually here as well, right? And I feel like they're almost like impressed at like how strong you are, how much you're willing to like conquer here as well, right? Like I feel like there's very much a space here where you go through a lot of really tough times, but I feel like in these tough times you only know, like, you know that they're only temporary. Like, you know that there's very much a space. I just saw 111 again. There's very much a space here where it's you're being protected, you're being guided, you're being shown a different path, a different route here as well, right? I feel like your spiritual sense are so intense. I feel like you have so many different animals around you at this time. I feel like they're like showing you the things that are necessary here for yourself. First out, we have the Lovers. Here you are, Gemini, first and foremost. I feel like you've been doing a lot of like work in the mirror here as well, right? I feel like there's been a lot of things within yourself. I just saw the Devil card that you've really been working through. I feel like it's been a lot of like like self-hatred, a lot of like hurt feelings, a lot of things that you've been processing and dealing with here as well, right? We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Hanged Man right next to the Lovers. There's been very much a space here where you know the darkness is for you to see the light. You know that there's a space here that you have to go through these hardships. You have to work through the shadow space here as well in order for you to like really become like the person that you're meant to be, right? And I feel like there's very much a space here where you're looking at your past traumas, your past hurt. Hey, I'm good. How are you doing, Austin? And then we have the High Priestess. We have the Hangman and the High Priestess sitting next to each other, right? I feel like there's very much a space here where the only person that can, oh, thank you for liking, can transmute this energy here for yourself is you, right? Like I feel like there's very much a space here where you are so connected to your higher self. You're so connected to all these different spiritual beings here that are like bringing you these messages here as well, right? There's very much a space where you're going through huge self-growth, spiritual growth here as well, right? And we have the Fool. Okay. We have the Hangman, the High Priestess, and the Fool. Look at where you have your Pisces, your Aquarius placements here as well, right? I feel like there's such a strong, and keep in mind, yes, I'm doing this video for full moon in Virgo, but we are in Aries season, right? Look at where you have Aquarius and Pisces located in your birth chart. I feel like there's very much a space here where you're really tuning in, tapping into yourself. I feel like you're becoming such a strong personal being. I feel like you're finding your own truths out here as well, right? I feel like there could have been a lot of like spiritual teachers, spiritual gurus here that were almost like giving you like how they're seeing their spirituality. And I feel like there's very much a space here within yourself that you're like looking at yourself. You're like really seeing yourself for the first time. And I feel like you've really been working on your shadow self. You've really been working on this energy here that's been a little tough to handle at times, right? Like I feel like there's been a lot of physical challenges like on this physical plane here as you're like working towards your spirituality, and I feel like it's almost trying to like distract you, detour you here as well, right? Like I feel like you're putting in the work, you're doing hello, good morning. I feel like you're definitely doing the things that are necessary here for yourself, right? And I feel like once you do this like this deep spiritual work, once you're finding out your own truth, your own mission, your own belief system here as well, right? There's very much a space here where you're really tuning in, tapping into that happiness frequency, and I feel like that's bringing out all of your manifestations at this time, right? Yeah, I feel like you're moving away from anything that's been very toxic, anything that's been very hurtful here as well, right? Like I feel like there's been a space here where there's been a lot of people that have been trying to like take you down. I feel like there's been a lot of blockages, a lot of burdens, a lot of things upon this spiritual growth. We have the Queen of Cups, the Six of Swords, the Temperance card, and the Ten of Wands. I feel like there's been a space here where you're constantly trying to, Jesus does like, hey, how funny, Mark. Oh, thank you so much. I don't have social media. I think that's why my channel doesn't grow as much, right? Like I need to get social media. Sorry. Yeah. I feel like there's very much a space here. I actually have that on my, so you know I'm a barber, right? And I actually have like, my daughter got me this huge sticker that says Jesus loves you, and it like has like this huge happy face, and I have it next to like my Gas Monkey Grill sticker, and you know, all my coffee shop stickers, and all my little weed stickers here. Yeah. Yeah. How sweet. Yeah. And every time I look at that, it makes me smile. I don't know. It's something about a happy face and Jesus loves you. I don't know. It fills me with joy, right? There's very much a space here where there's been a lot of things that have trying to distract you with your emotions. Like I feel like there's been a lot of love situations, a lot of work situations, a lot of financial situations, family situations here, that it's like as you're building and growing, as you're getting these signs, symbols, and synchronicities here as well, right? Like there's a space here where it's almost like pulling you 2 steps backwards. But keep in mind, like when you have like a bow and arrow and you're pulling that string back, it's just helping you like go that much faster, that much forward here as well, right? So even if things are pulling you back as you feel a little bit, it's going to be beneficial for you, right? Like I feel like there's very much a space here where these blockages and burdens were supposed to be happening. I feel like there was a lot of things that you were supposed to be realizing here for yourself here as well, right? I feel like there could be a lot of control issues, a lot of penny pinching here as well, right? Once again, I feel like there's been a huge space of worry about control issues and financial situations. And we have the Queen of Pentacles sitting right out here as well. There could definitely be a Queen of Pentacles around you at this time who has been very focused in on money, very focused in on hurt, a lot of control issues, self-sabotage here as well, right? Sorry guys. There's very much a space here where you're starting to realize like, hey, this type of energy, this type of attitude is not necessary. Like you don't have to be in control of everything all the time. You don't have to be so worried and honed in on your like financial situation. Hasn't everything always worked out up to this point? Like, aren't you okay? Like you're still living, you're still breathing, you still have a place to lay your head. And I feel like there's very much a space here where you're having such huge realizations as to like, how much time you've been wasting on like worry and fears, right? And I feel like the more that you're honing in and focusing in on these fears of failure, I feel like it's almost fears of failure. It's preventing you from getting where it is that you're supposed to be going. And keep in mind, this is sitting right under the shadow card here as well, right? Yeah, there's very much a space here where now's really the time to start focusing in on how you can better yourself. Like who are you today exactly? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have the 6 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. Yeah. I feel like there's been a lot of worry and fears here involving love relationships, involving people that like I feel like there's a lot of people that come in and like do certain things for you that are so sweet, that are so loving, that are so caring here as well, right? I feel like you're very apprehensive about these people. I feel like you are feeling that they're very sneaky, very shady. I feel like there's also a space here where you really get in your fears because you've had to leave a lot of people, places, and things behind, but they weren't for you, right? Like there's a space here where like you're sad that you had to like leave these people, places, and things behind, but you had to in order to get to the next step. And I feel like there's almost a space here of like true worry and fear as to like how to get into a new relationship, how to take on this job offer, how to, you know, go out and do these things here as well, right? Keep in mind, you're so powerful, Gemini, especially with your words. And I feel like there's very much a space here where you're really needing to step up and say, hey, you know, how can I help you today? Like, what is it like? I feel like there's a space here where like you are so like intellectual, involving your like words, right? And how you speak to people. But I feel like there's almost a space here where you forget how strong those words really are for yourself, right? And I feel like there's also a space here where you are just so fearful as to like to accept love into your life. Right, Gemini? Oh, wait, that makes me want to cry. Because there's been a lot of sneaky, shady people that have left you in the past, but it was because it was supposed to be, right? Then we have this 8 of Wands here, yeah. And then we have this 8 of Wands. Yeah, you could have a very heavy Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Venus here as well, right? Gemini Rising. I feel like there's going to be such a huge shift within yourself. There's going to be such huge realizations as to like what it is that you've been really allowing for yourself, allowing into your life here as well, right? Like I feel like there's a space here where it's been a lot of anxiety, it's been a lot of fear, it's been a lot of frustration. We have the 9 of Swords here. I feel like it's been very much like your hands have been tied. Check where your Saturn is here as well, right? There's very much a space here where it's time for you to work through this. It's time for you to work through your shadow issues. It's time for you to realize like, hey, these bad things happen because you're so honed in and focused in on the negative, on the fears, the frustrations, like how things can go wrong. I feel like you're not even allowing like a chance or an opportunity for something to go right here as well, right? And I feel like this is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. It's time for you to work through these aspects within yourself here as well, right? And then we have the Star in reverse, yeah. And then we have the Star in reverse. Once again, I feel like you've had a lot of anxiety tied up in situations that hurt you more than they helped you. And I feel like you're really realizing like the things that you've been looking at up to this point have not really been comforting, have not really been truthful here as well, right? I feel like there's definitely a situation involving your workspace here that you're finding a lot of healing. aspects within yourself. Like I feel like there's a space here where the more that you are focused in on, you're honed in on like a certain craft, a certain place here that really makes you feel alive, right? I feel like that's where you're getting a lot of these spiritual messages, right? And I feel like there's very much a space as the more that you're working on yourself, the more that you're paying attention to your financial situation, the more that you're trying to focus on the next right thing instead of what's going wrong, the more you're going to find this such a beautiful loving energy within yourself here as well, right? I feel like you're going to start looking at yourself a lot different. I feel like you're going to start looking at yourself with a lot more value than you had up to this point here as well. We have the Page of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles. You have such a huge shift like moving forward in your work situations, right? Like I feel like there's very much a space here where people are wanting to come in and support you. Once again, I feel like it's because you look so great, you feel so great, you're doing so great, you're so spiritually connected. I feel like you're forming a whole lot of new ideas about your life, about yourself, and where it is you're trying to go here as well, right? I feel like you're just not allowing anything to really come up and like take like your power from you, like take your joy, your happiness, and your peace here as well, right? There's very much a space here where you're not focused in on what anybody else is doing. You're paying attention to your own paper. You're really connecting to yourself and the one, right? All right, guys, let's get one card out for how you can appeal this energy. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you for subscribing here as well. Oh, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for all of the comments here as well. It says power of prayer, the power of prayer. And keep in mind, like this morning, like I had like this negative, like icky, slow moving attitude. And I woke up and I just immediately started like thanking God for everything that he's bringing into my life. Like I don't necessarily pray. I thank God for the things that he's bringing into my life, right? Even if they're not here yet. Like I'm already grateful because I know I'm going to get them, right? Like it's the power of prayer. Like to me, that's prayer, like thanking God. I'm not, please God, will you give me a bicycle? Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like I thank God for this bicycle that he's already brought into my life. You know what I'm saying? Like you are grateful. And I feel like there's very much a space here where you're talking to spirit a lot more. And I feel like that's helping you here. It says, give the situation to God for uplifting and healing and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives you in response to your prayers. I feel like God's just like blah, 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 like dropping things in your life here that are just like so amazing, like things that you've always wished for, things that you always hoped for, even in your childhood here as well, right? And I feel like there's very much a space where you're feeling like such joy and happiness and peace, right? Don't ignore the signs. And I feel like they're right in your face. I feel like they're right in your face. I feel like spirit is being so clear. I feel like there's almost been like this veil that's been covering your face, like your attitude here as well, right? And it's like once you know, you can't unknow, right? And I feel like there's very much a space here where you're really seeing everything for what it is at this time, right? I feel like you're so grateful. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, Gemini, for tuning in, tapping in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you. Bye.